Hey there, it's Phoenix Amore. So this is why I like putting out the videos, because now I can verbally articulate the beautiful thing about God prepping me the way that he did to have the real knowledge and not some fake marketing crap that they tried to push on you guys now. Is to be able to break stuff down from a very logical viewpoint. You see what I did? I read the article, I read the reasoning, as opposed to making it all this anti this or that that's been going on that has people so emotionally illogical. Hell no, I'd never be a politician. Let me break that down again. I don't like how y'all are so grimy. I don't like it. There's just too many little loopholes and all this craziness. And when you start seeing the whole marketing aspect, well, all of a sudden you had Obama say, well, my spiritual advisor, well, which one is it? Was it J.K. Rowling? You went to her to be Ravencrow, and then you went to some Indians to be black whatever eagle, and now your spiritual advisor. Which one was it? See, this is the key that I need people to understand. When you start understanding why they start trying to market and paint a person away, it all comes full circle because there's some bigger plan behind it. When here's the reality, this is why Islam started fighting. Those in the know I know what I'm talking about, because there was this big argument over who should be prophet, prophetess. Should it be somebody with a pure, quote unquote, let them tell it, bloodline? Or what if somebody was just naturally gifted, however you want to say it? They started fighting about stuff even like that. So this is Lucifer's dominion. You remember when I was breaking it down, I said Lucifer is the great divider. That it was easy to do, be like, oh, you know what? You know why you shouldn't listen to that person? They don't have pure bloodline. Now you got a war all behind something that's simple. This is where all the religious war became such a big issue. So somebody like me who already knew all that stuff, and somebody fronting like a lot of these people acting like they do, I can step back and look and read an article like that and say, you know what? Okay, this is about a government having to respect another government. The Egyptian military had to basically fight with the Muslim Brotherhood. So the American government had to look at this lady and say, she met with this group. If we put her in this position, how will that affect our relationship with Egypt? You have to know at least something about politics before you read some of this stuff and make it so, oh, Trump's administration and the Republicans are anti this and that. That part made sense because that's more about diplomatic relationships. So understand, when I read stuff, I'm like, that makes sense. That's not a pro-Trump. That decision makes sense. This is what makes it so beautiful to understand politics. Would I be a politician? No, because do you see what they do? A lot of them just keep on trying to spin it and keep on, especially now, not in this day and time, because I have such a reverence for spirituality and religion and God in general. I'm actually very disgusted now because you see what they're getting ready to try to do. Well, let's try to pretend that we know you're not. No, you're about marketing and labeling, and I'm not. So I can't taint the pure discernment that I talk about. I can't taint that with politics. That's what people needed to understand from the jump. And when my mother said stuff like, oh, you could have been a lawyer, I know law well, but I can't taint my spirit or my discernment with all this craftiness that's going on. I can't. And so this is why I've been able to have such a direct connect. Now, naturally, when I talk about people trying to dabble, people always think they can bind somebody, right? So understand something. When it is such that you start dabbling on that wrong person, God instills certain attributes, like I broke down to people and certain people. So it's easy for some of us. There's a very select few that reach a certain spiritual vibration, however you want to say it, that naturally can pick up on stuff, and boom, before you know it, it's a wrap. So all this stuff that's going on right now, pure discernment is very important. So you see what they tried to do. The next thing was, of course, oh, well, call her here and start saying she was inaccurate. All that political stuff for no reason, because at the end of the day, I was already prepped for that. I would not be in their politics. And some of them need to be ashamed of themselves. Some of these politicians are true blue Muslims, and yes, you should be ashamed of yourself. But you'll see some of them now speaking up saying, no, you know what, this is grimy. I don't like how this is going. That's where everything is finally and will at some point balance out. So let me break that down again. Read what that said. We can't nominate this person because she met with the Muslim Brotherhood, who the government of Egypt had to end up fighting. And since we're the government, we need to respect Egypt's government's views about this group for now. That's all you need to know, rather than all the extra drama and the spins they try to put on stuff. Take care.